I've been volunteering for about 3 years.
I've only volunteered one day.
The last 3 months.
Since November.
For almost 3 years.
And it gave me a great experience, and I wouldn't have been able to work in the places I've worked without my opportunity here as being a volunteer.
These people give up times from their busy schedules to come out here and actually help out the park. They are the heart and soul of this park. I truly believe that.
Oh, I get along great with all the volunteers. All the volunteers here are amazing people. They're all funny. They're all great people to hang around. And honestly, I don't think I could ask for any greater people to work with.
One of the things that I love about volunteering is because you meet a lot of different people from different backgrounds who come and enjoy what the park has to offer.
An escape attempt you're dying to hear about, whatever it is, I'll try to answer for you.
What we do in the nursery, we grow plants for restoration projects, and the way that we get that done is through volunteers. So we have people of all ages, young kids through older people that are retired, and they want to give back to the community, and that's how we get it done.
Well, for the volunteers located here at the Golden Gate National Recreation Area and some of the areas that I oversee, they can do a variety of different things. For some of them, they can be docents, where they can actually provide some general orientation information and also actually give some interpretive programs to the general public. For others, they can be involved in habitat restoration, building restoration, a variety of different capacities along those lines. Others, they're very happy to just simply provide information. Some of them, they don't want to be in the limelight as much.
She's our littlest volunteer. She's very cheerful, always eager to learn something new. I am very amazed at just everything she does. She does it with such cheer, and she's so smart. I just feel so inspired when I see her. I feel there's so much hope for the future.
We pot wash. We have these buckets and we have hot water in them because it's cold here, and we have dirty pots that we wash with these scrubber things, and we just clean them out of like bad bacteria.
We bring the seeds back, and they propagate them in different ways depending on what kind of seeds they are, and then they put them in the mist house, and they grow them to little babies, and then we transplant them to larger pots, and then sometimes we transplant them again like we're doing right now, and then they go into the shade house, and they're taken out to different habitats within the Persidio.
Everybody knows exactly what they need to do, from getting the island operational and doing the necessary paperwork to greet the first group.
We're going to head up to the audio tour. This will take about 25 minutes or so, and I'd like to stop along the escape site. Look at that out there. Now, would you like to swim out there in the middle of the night? And, just being down in that water, trying to find landmarks in the dark is incredibly difficult.
We divided our duties by greeting the boats. We do a specific greeting mandatory stop by all the visitors at the dock area with small announcements, some housekeeping items, and of course a little history and some trivia about the island that people like to know.
Over the course of the 29 years that this was a federal penitentiary, there were over 1,500 prisoners. I think that there are stories about how, even though this place was very extreme by itself, that there were always exceptions to basically every rule that you end up discovering. There were never supposed to be any prisoners who were sent here directly or paroled directly from here, but in fact that was the case. We had a couple of people who were considered traitors who were sent here, as well as a couple of Nazi saboteurs who came to the United States at the end of World War II, and they were, fortunately for them, because the war ended, they were not executed, but they were sent here instead.
We have volunteers here that come to the fort, and it's great. They help us in everything we do. They help us open the fort, close the fort, doing programs, maintenance. So they're a very big part of our working dynamic here.
The fort started construction in 1853 and was completed in 1861. And during that time of the Civil War era, there were companies constantly coming in and rotating, but the longest company lived here for 2.5 years. And although the fort never saw fire, they would still do drills and prepare for any enemy that was coming into the bay due to the California gold rush, which is why the fort was built.
We are one of 6 nurseries, 5 of them in the park, and we each collect plants for our independent projects within our areas. It's pretty awesome how it all starts with finding fundings to work in a certain project, but then it's kind of like, oh, we have volunteers that actually can come and help us do the work that is needed in here. So then slowly I feel that our nurseries are growing. And this is, the Persidio nursery is the largest one. We grow about 65,000 plants every year.
I knew I had the public speaking skills and the public skills to be able to work with people. And I eventually went out, took a visit here, took a tour, and on my way out asked one of the rangers if there's any volunteer opportunities to work here at Alcatraz, and she gave me a card for the volunteer, or the ranger in charge of volunteers, and about a month later I got called in for an interview, and from then on I was a volunteer. So every day is a new experience, and you never run out of things to do, and never bored.
I run a lot. I run in the Persidio a lot, and I saw signs for habitat restoration projects, and I thought it'd be super neat to volunteer on one of those projects. So I just Googled it and found this volunteer opportunity.
Driving around San Francisco, I saw a sign that said, anyone welcome, come in, we're cleaning up the field. It was a soccer field, I think. So I thought, I don't have anything to do for a couple hours, I'll go see. So I went in and climbed under the shrubbery and went in. There were all these people I'd never met before, and somebody said, did you come work? And I said, yes, I did, actually. And so they showed me where the shovels and the saws and all this stuff were, and I took what I wanted, and then somebody told me what I should do with it. Well, I felt fortunate to have found a place that I enjoy volunteering. Not everybody does. They move around, which is fine. A place this big, it just looked like I could fit in here.
Well, I started getting into volunteering mostly because my parents kind of wanted me to have an outlet, I guess, to find something interesting to do. And my cousin Matt, who used to volunteer here, he actually recommended that I probably do something like this and volunteer in Alcatraz. And so I thought it was an interesting idea. So I actually had signed up to see if I can volunteer here. I interviewed with Ranger Lori. We just talked over about myself. I asked her some questions. She asked me some questions. And yeah, that's how it all started.
I came to volunteer with Alcatraz because of my first time in Alcatraz when I was 8 years old. I came here for the first time. I was living in South America, and I, like every tourist, comes to Alcatraz when they come to the Bay Area. And I got fascinated by every single aspect of the island, the nature, the stories, and everything fascinated me.
I'm always trying to see if I can bring in more youth volunteers. We have a lot of older folks that are retired, and that's great. But it's a certain niche. And so I'm trying to always see what we can do to bring in especially more people of color. I hate that expression, but I always try to bring more Latinos, more African Americans, more Asians to the park for them to realize what they have here. This is their park too.
I am one of the best examples. I am a person of color that, when we have young kids, maybe Hispanic kids that see me here working as a professional, they might get an idea that, ooh, I could do that someday. And, they won't feel as intimidated, so that this place starts feeling a little bit more comfortable. So I do truly feel that we honor diversity, not only ethnic diversity, but the uniqueness of all of our humankind.
My fellow volunteers come from every walk of life, every profession, or they're retired from those professions, obviously both sexes, any sexual orientation that you can think of.
I think that they're pretty much in the same thought process. They like doing this work, and people get on well together. They pitch in, they will take different tasks and just work beside each other, and I think it's kind of therapeutic for everyone.
Honestly, I just feel like it kind of gets me away from like all the like the computer kind of stuff, like technology and like being in the city and the buses. Just pretty much like getting away.
For somebody who's planning to volunteer or would like to volunteer, I will say do it. Do it.
Just come out, take a look, and if you like it, ask about it. And if you, from there on, you can get into a very rewarding position.
It's just a great way to spend some time. I mean, it doesn't take anything to do. You don't have to pay. You don't have to do anything special to be a volunteer.
I hope that by coming here, they get to form new friendships and get to meet new people and get to feel a part of this community and feel good about helping our beautiful environment.
No matter what your niche is, simply come by and take a look at what we do here. Take a look at a public program presentation. And that way, hopefully you can say, hey, this is really what I want to do. I'm going to come back. And you realize that you've contributed to something much bigger.
It's just so amazing to work with these amazing people. I said it twice, amazing. They're just wonderful.